So we've come to Fresno City Hall this evening to demand an end to the criminalization of the homeless. We want house keys, not handcuffs, for those in our community who are too poor to reside in an apartment or a house. The collective punishment of the homeless people for the simple act of sleeping is not going to end homelessness. And we demand an end to the no camping ordinance. Passing laws to punish the homeless and make their lives more difficult and miserable has got to stop. There was the anti-panhandling ordinance, a law forbidding the homeless to push shopping carts, the rule preventing them from being on median islands. They are currently shutting down recycling centers, and now the homeless no camping ordinance is being implemented today. This is not going to end homelessness. Homelessness is a result of the political and economic system that we live in. The lack of affordable housing and social services have resulted in the situation that we have today, with people literally sleeping on the streets. Being homeless is not a personal problem. It happens because our political leaders have not prioritized solving the problem and directing the resources needed to end homelessness. We can do better. Another world is possible. What we need, starting today, is a safe and legal place where homeless people can go 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Homeless people need a place to go and the same basic public services that everyone else in this city has: drinking water, a place to go to the bathroom, and trash bins. In short, the homeless need to be treated with dignity and respect. Because they are our brothers and our sisters, and in some cases our mothers, fathers, or children. But having a safe and legal place to go is not enough. After we establish enough safe and legal places that are available for the homeless, we need to start finding them permanent housing. We also need to provide the resources for whatever social services they need. That might include, but is not limited to, job training, education, recovery from drug or alcohol addiction, and mental health services. Every situation is unique, but every homeless person can live a healthier and happier life if we all pull together as a community and provide the resources needed to end homelessness. Interestingly, providing the homeless people with housing and social services would actually cost less than what we are doing now, and we would end homelessness. How's that for a win-win? Our next guest is passionate about social justice, has been involved in advocating for a living wage, marriage equality, environmental sustainability, death with dignity, Black Lives Matter, gun control, and other progressive movements. Reverend Tim Kutzmark is the minister of the Unitarian Church of Fresno. Tim?
Good evening, everyone. I invite us to begin. I'm going to call something out, and I'd love for you all just to repeat what I say. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your living is a miracle? how deeply you're connected to my soul. We gather here tonight to say that to the most vulnerable people here in Fresno. We come here tonight to stand on the side of love, to stand on the side of justice, to stand on the side of dignity, and to stand on the side of respect. And we don't come to just offer dignity and respect to those of us who are fortunate enough to have houses. We don't come to offer dignity and respect for those who are fortunate enough to live in apartments. We come to offer dignity and respect, to stand up for the dignity and respect of all people, whether you have a home or not, and whether tonight you have a place inside to sleep, or tonight you must sleep on the streets. We are here to testify that everyone has worth and dignity. A law that makes it criminal to sleep outside is immoral and is unjust, and as Mike said, does not do anything to end homelessness. An ordinance that is going to give people the choice of arrest or leaving Fresno to take their homelessness to another part of this state does nothing to change the problem of homelessness in Fresno and in California. Now, I know that some who are gathered here tonight are prepared to camp out in defiance of this unjust ordinance. And I am here to remind us and you all that civil disobedience is okay in the face of injustice and wrongdoing. Remember Gandhi. The situation changed in India because of civil disobedience, so you stand in the shadows of Gandhi. Things only changed when Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King and so many others said no to unjust laws, and they broke those laws. They risked arrest. They put their bodies on the line to say no to what is wrong. And tonight, I know that some of us gathered here will do the same. We are not doing anything wrong. That's right. We are doing what is right. Yeah. May it be so.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Abre Connor. She's a staff attorney with the ACLU in Fresno. Abre, can you come forward?
A month ago, Fresno City Council had the opportunity to bring together and unify people such as how we are here today. But instead, they decided to divide this city. They decided to criminalize individuals just because of their conduct and their status by saying that if you don't have a home, you don't have a place here in the city of Fresno. And this ordinance, as we said to Fresno City Council at 2 different city council hearings, is deeply flawed, and it was rushed. And we believe that they are teetering on the lines of constitutionality. We told them that this ordinance gives power to the police, and it gives them unfettered discretion to decide whether or not and who is worthy of resources, or whether or not someone is going to go to jail, or whether or not someone is going to pay a fine. And who is to say that Fresno Police Department is the right entity to make that decision? The United States Supreme Court in Robinson made clear that criminalizing status like homelessness was unconstitutional. We told Fresno City Council that, and they still decided to move forward. Also, right here in the Ninth Circuit, where California is located, Jones versus City of Los Angeles stated that it's a necessity for homeless people to be able to stay on sidewalks and outside. So we wonder, why is it that Fresno City Council is deciding to go against law that has been put in place in the United States Supreme Court? There were federal court decisions that followed the Jones versus City of Los Angeles decision here in the Ninth Circuit as well, that said that you should not be criminalizing individuals just because they're homeless. We also made clear to Fresno City Council that it seems that this might be an Eighth Amendment violation, because just sleeping outside is not an issue. You should not be criminalized just for sleeping outside, and that is your Eighth Amendment right to be able to do that. In Kincaid, several years ago, many of us might remember this decision, but we actually worked on a case related to homelessness in the city. And the judge in that case actually stated that there is not enough resources, there's not enough places for homeless people to go. We asked Fresno City Council if this has been fixed, and they decided not to answer that question. Indeed, many of the city council members said they felt that this was a flawed ordinance, but they were just gonna keep going forward with this ordinance that was deeply flawed. We feel that this is a problem. We have been continuing to monitor this situation. We are monitoring how Fresno Police Department and how the city is moving forward with this ordinance, because we see all of the issues that Fresno City Council has decided to place upon the city with this deeply flawed and rushed ordinance. So we are happy to be out here with each of you today to stand in unity with homeless individuals, with people who are residents of this city and should not have to move just because they don't have a home.